Miss News Today.
I think all of us have been very happy to flip that calendar to spring finally, put the winter weather behind us, and look ahead to warm days at home. Easter coming up, so is grilling season, so it's the perfect time for us to pay a visit to Don Raines over at Don's Meat Shop. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you, Julie.
So March kind of gives us that combination of some beautiful days and then some chilly days to remind us that winter is not quite over. But for the grillers out there, worry not, the season is finally here.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I have plenty of inventory.
You have got tons of inventory. We'll touch on Easter in a second, but let's talk about your options for grilling. Everything from your hamburgers that are made by you here
Absolutely.
To your tomahawk steaks. You've got it all.
I do. Ribeyes, I keep a ton of ribeyes, filet mignon, sirloin, T-bones, you name it, we got it.
You kind of have made things foolproof. I've used that phrase with you before, but because the quality of the meat here at your store is so high, and then you guide people on how to cook it, you can't mess it up practically.
Well, I hope not. We give it our best shot to give them the advice they need to make it a successful experience.
My husband used to be in the past, not so much anymore, but kind of an overcooker. He was so afraid of not serving the meat when it wasn't fully cooked that you could kind of ruin a good selection of meat. With your steaks especially, you want to be careful not to char them, right?
Well, you know, it's okay to, put a sear on them, but you really don't want to take them too far.
Because what, you lose the flavor and the tenderness? Is that what happens if you cook it too long?
Especially flavor. It should still be tender. It may be a little firmer than it would otherwise, but it should still be tender. But you'll definitely lose flavor.
I want to talk to you a little bit about Easter because you've got a nice selection for folks who want to go kind of normal, not too fancy. You've got everything from your delicious chickens to your handmade kebabs here.
Right.
But then you'll do kind of some fun festive pieces too that people can enjoy.
Oh, sure. We'll have lamb chops, leg of lamb. We'll have our spiral hams like we sell at Christmas. If you want a standing rib roast, we'll do it. We'll do a lot of roast.
You had talked to me on the roast topic when I was here before Valentine's Day about how you have a lot of your customers who you've known well enough over the years that you trim the meat according to their preference with the fat.
Absolutely.
When you're dealing with a roast, especially a traditional chuck roast, don't you have to be real careful about how that fat is woven through the roast because that gives you your flavor, right?
Yes. Chucks have more internal fat than most other roasts.
So with the rib roast, how do you do it with that one?
Well, the rib roast has two ends. The rib meets the chuck on one end actually, and there's more marbling, if you will, and fat on that end. The other end joins the strip, which that end of the ribeye is leaner. Now customers have preferences. A lot of my customers want the more flavorful, fattier end, if you will, but others are fat adverse and they want the lean end. So it's just really about asking the right questions and knowing your customers.
So what about the quality of the meat that you're bringing in? Because I guess you get it from all over the country.
Yeah. We're doing a high choice most of the time. Real high quality. We want them to have a good experience. We want it to be a notch above.
Go back to a year ago when COVID first happened, and you and I
Right.
had some conversations because the meat industry was affected, right? There were some
Absolutely.
Pretty serious repercussions. Things have kind of evened out though now
Yes.
for you.
Yeah, last June was the worst in shortages. The plants were struggling with labor. The animals were there. They just could not get the product out. And it was a serious situation. Fortunately, I have a lot of contacts in the business. I may not have had everything, but I had inventory when other people had zero.
So with that inventory, you've got customers who are always coming into your door. You and I are
Right.
talking before the doors open, but it gets crowded in here. You've got to make sure you don't run out of things. So do you have a lot of your customers who call you every week and say, hey, Don, I'm going to be in to get a couple of pounds of this and that?
We'll have pre-orders from time to time. We'll take a few orders every day. But most of the time our customers know we have it and they just come on in.
Do you advise people to pre-order coming into the Easter weekend? Is that going to be a good time to get your ham ahead of time?
Yeah, I would always advise on the specialty items to go ahead and order it, especially something like the spiral hams that we could possibly run out of.
Okay, talk to me a little bit about your seafood. When I was here last time, you were promoting your steak and lobster special for Valentine's
Right.
Day, but you've got everything from excellent scallops to salmon to everything in between.
Yeah, mahi tuna, which is sushi grade tuna. I've got You know, if you want something easy, if it's a chilly day in March, say, I've got a crab stuffed flounder that's excellent. It's one of my top sellers, and it's so easy to do. You just pop it in the oven. 25 minutes later, you're good to go.
So one of the things that we found from COVID is that a lot of us were home more. We've
Sure.
discovered the love of cooking at home,
Absolutely.
which I'm sure brought a lot of new customers your way. If you are looking to grill out or plan for your Easter weekend, you've got all the sides to go with everything too here, right?
I do. Oh yeah, I've got green sides like broccoli and corn, twice baked potatoes. I've got a lot of stuff.
I wish that we could get a shot for you, but we can't because they're the guys behind the camera. But Doug and Bill, who are here videoing this, always enjoy when we come over here because they enjoy browsing your shelves and the freezers to see what they'd like to take home with them and buy.
Absolutely.
You too can be one of the customers here at Don's Meat Shop. Make your Easter extra special this year or have something great to throw on the grill simply because it's a Friday night. Don's Meat Shop on Hickson Pike in Hickson. There's the phone number and the website. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Julie.
It's the final days of Ashley Home Store's anniversary sale mattress event. Get 0% financing for 5